Melania handed note about Barron during overseas meeting, shocked when she sees what it said. The President and First Lady have been traveling abroad for White House business since Friday, on a week-long tour touching down in several countries. Melania Trump is far away from home and missing their 11-year-old son who she's extremely close to and involved within his everyday activities as a very hands-on mom. Adjustment to life as the first family has come with more challenges than most, given the vicious nature of those who don't like Donald Trump. While on their short 24-hour stop in Israel, Melania stopped by a children's hospital with the Prime Minister's wife, Sarah Netanyahu, to visit children facing insurmountable problems. As she showered them with genuine love and attention, she undoubtedly thought about her own boy who was back at home and being watched over by people she and the president trust. Later, when she was meeting with the Israel's First Lady Netanyahu Rivlin, she was handed a note about Barron in a gift that left her absolutely stunned. It's no secret that Melania's first and most important priority is her young son Barron. He's who she stayed in New York for during the stressful first months of Donald Trump's presidency. He's also the one she's fiercely protected against, an adversary she never thought he would be relentlessly attacked by, grown adults of a different political party than his father's. Being a person in the public eye can be lonely despite the number of people who know your name and give you attention. The relentless ridicule and comments made about this child is not something any kid should ever have to face, especially since he didn't choose to be the first son of the United States. Netanyahu understands this struggle all too well, as she too has faced similar scrutiny in her own country, as part of what comes with the territory of being the wife of a world leader. While Netanyahu and Melania spent some time together, the gracious First Lady of Israel leaned in and handed Melania a gift. It wasn't for the Melania, rather Netanyahu decided to do something special for Barron, and within the gift of the book was a much deeper meaning that was especially touching for our First Lady. Independent Journal Review reports. The First Lady got copies in 3 different languages, but it's the content of the book that matters. According to descriptions, the book illustrates a mother and son, alone on a walk. Her boy is named Ben. The son is worried that he is alone in the world because he is special, but his mother reassures him with a hug. If anyone is in need of some reassurance, it's Barron, who has been the brunt of undeserved torment by adults in this country who simply hate who he was born to. Nobody knows how to comfort him the way his mother does. This incredible story, written about 2 other people well before the Trumps moved to the White House, seems to perfectly represent this mother and son relationship now and the struggles young Barron is facing today. The Israeli First Lady's thoughtful gift was as much of a pleasure for her to give Melania as it was for our First Lady to receive it. Netanyahu could see that Melania was visibly moved by what the note said in the book and immediately understood. It was important for me to give the Barron, who remained at home and is only 11 years old, a souvenir from his parents' visit to Israel, Netanyahu wrote on Facebook. The Israeli First Lady also saw something in Melania that countless Americans fail to see, describing her as a charming woman inside and out, sensitive and special, in her Facebook post. Melania exudes these incredibly compassionate qualities which are prevalent in her time spent with sick children in hospitals around the world and her warm approach to world leaders. As she walked with Netanyahu, who is ill herself and hooked up to a breathing machine, you can see the genuine love and concern for this woman in Melania's face, which was captured in a photo from the visit. What the world needs now is compassion for people, which both Netanyahu and Melania show on the daily basis, both in their homes and abroad. It's incredibly touching that with any number of gift options that this world leader could have given America's First Lady, she thought to give her something meaningful for her persecuted kid who doesn't deserve the torment he endures. Holy blessings. Everyone is talking about Melania's outfit in Vatican today. President Trump and First Lady Melania arrived in Rome last night, and their first engagement this morning was a headliner in the global tour which they are currently partway through, meeting with Pope Francis at the Vatican. First Lady Melania Trump dressed in knee-length black dress, arms covered and a black veil over her hair. According to the Telegraph, women meeting the Pope have traditionally been required to wear black, long sleeves and a mantilla, the lace veil worn in the Roman Catholic Church. Certain Catholic queens and princesses are allowed to wear white. But Pope Francis has been easing up on the dress code. Things have become more relaxed over the last few years. There are no hard and fast rules, a spokesperson for the Vatican told The Telegraph. Melania kept with tradition and wore veils to meet Francis. The veil, or mantilla, is traditionally worn by women as a sign of respect when meeting the Pope. Trump's senior aide Hope Hicks wore one as well. Still, Melania Trump didn't take any fashion risks during their meeting. To my eyes, what Mrs. Melania Trump wore was perfect. She was rather elegantly dressed, and totally in keeping with the event, said BBC's David Willey. The Trump party, as a whole, observed normal protocol and dress. We are truly blessed to have such First Lady at the White House. She is a great role model for our young generation of today that need it so bad. They need to learn manners, to be respectful, learn how to dress and act in public. Share this post on Facebook if you support Melania Trump. What did you guys think of Melania's outfit? Scroll down to comment. Right after Melania arrived in Vatican, everyone spotted this one strange thing. The First Lady wore a veil when they met Pope Francis, adhering to the dress code for private papal audiences at the Vatican and following a long tradition of First Ladies before them. Per Vatican protocol, women who have an audience with the Pope are required to wear long sleeves, formal black clothing, and a veil to cover the head, Stephanie Grisham, the First Lady's communications director told us. According to The Telegraph, women meeting the Pope have traditionally been required to wear black, long sleeves and a mantilla, the lace veil worn in the Roman Catholic Church. Certain Catholic queens and princesses are allowed to wear white. But Pope Francis has been easing up on the dress code. Things have become more relaxed over the last few years. There are no hard and fast rules, a spokesperson for the Vatican told The Telegraph. Still, the Trump women didn't take any fashion risks during their meeting. To my eyes, what Mrs. Melania Trump wore was perfect. She was rather elegantly dressed, and totally in keeping with the event, said BBC's David Willey. The Trump party, as a whole, observed normal protocol and dress. The protocol is more complicated for when First Ladies, and in this case, First Daughters, visit Saudi Arabia, as the Trumps did before Rome. There, Saudi women are required to cover their heads, but female foreign dignitaries are not, BBC reports. Share this post if you are proud of First Lady Melania Trump. What do you think about this? Comment below. Watch, Fox News asks Trump voters how they're feeling. Man stares straight into camera and says. A Michigan man offers a powerful message for President Trump and all of his supporters who are giving up hope. Mr. Trump, we're supporting you, we voted for you, we're still here, exclaims a Michigan Trump supporter. Remember, the people that elected you are still strongly behind you. We have your back. Move forward and do the things you promised to do. President Trump has had an extremely successful start to his presidency, but you wouldn't believe that by watching the mainstream news. Those liars paint a totally different picture. Go figure. Insiders in the media and Washington are working around the clock to undermine President Trump, but we cannot let their ceaseless drivel distract us from making America great again. The media colluded with the Democrat Party in the lead up to the election and attempted to portray President Trump as unfit to govern. They spent hours every day attacking the then candidate, hoping he would not be elected. We did not let their baseless attacks get to us during the election, and we cannot let them get to us now. The establishment is terrified that President Trump is going to drain the swamp. The Washington insiders, traitorous leakers, and the mainstream media are trying to turn us against our president, but we cannot let them win. We have to make sure we're heard loud and clear. We elected President Trump for a reason. After years of corruption and backdoor wheeling and dealing, we knew that only a man of the people could clean this mess up. Government has grown bloated, inefficient, and impossible to manage. President Trump offered a solution. He truly listened to the desires of the American people, and drafted a plan. He promised to clean the halls of Washington, D.C., to defend our borders, and to reassert American influence on the world stage. We are all still committed to these goals. Fake scandals like Russian collusion cannot distract us, and faux outrage over the ousting of James Comey will not convince us to ignore the swamp. President Trump is making all of the right moves while garnering zero respect. We are waging a war to take our country back, and we cannot expect the traitors to play fair. We need to let President Trump know that we still support him, and will work with him to make America great again. Share this post if you still support President Trump. What do you think about this? Comment below.